Hey, what's up? Gary here. Looking to get started using the new transpose feature that's came out in the recent CoreOS 3.0.0 update on your Quad Cortex? Let's go check it out. Let's talk about a highly anticipated device added in the latest CoreOS 3.0.0 update, the transpose device block. Anyone that's been leveraging Neural DSP's plugins, standalone plugins that have transpose, will tell you that in most cases in using it, it's a godsend. It's really, really nice to have. It's not the same necessarily as a pitch control either, okay? So you can pitch shift, and you've had a pitch shift on your Quad Cortex for some time. In fact, I have that device pulled up in a preset in front of you right now with the ability to get plug in your mix, your pitch course, fine tuning it if you have different types of tuning, or using features that make your tuning sound like it drifts slightly. You can bring that back into correction with a pitch shifter. That's all really good. And it's very similar to transpose. There's not a big difference. It's just that transpose is going to allow for you to have a focus on just having your semitone controls, okay? And the way that the algorithm is working behind the scenes to track your input, in my opinion, has a better tracking rate and a little less latency than the standard pitch shifter does, which is really helpful, especially if you're going to, say, for example, in a scenario, you want to be able to play a song that requires you to down tune, but you don't want to take the time to down tune, or maybe the guitar that you really like the sound of can't down tune to the level of which you need it to go without, say, for example, losing tuning stability or getting too muddy or doing something like that. In this case, you can use transpose to literally transpose down or up, for that matter. You can go down 12 semitones or up 12 semitones in your pitch of your actual playing to be able to do that. And you can leave it on. You can even set up this transpose feature with a expression pedal to be able to do very much the same thing as you could do with like dive bombs and different things of the sort with a pitch shifter. You can do the same thing with transpose. But again, the main purpose of transpose is really to be able to allow for you to change the pitch of what you're going to do. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in a preset, so that way I can show you a couple of examples of using the transpose device block. All right, so let's get started with a brief example preset on being able to use the transpose device block. And I'm just going to show you where to find it, dropping it in, setting it up, and then just playing a quick riff so I can show you the difference between having it engaged and not having it engaged. It's pretty straightforward. I don't think it's going to be all that complicated, and certainly doesn't need a lot of time in the video, I don't think, to get the point, but I definitely want to show you. So I've made a spot here on this preset that I'm using, an empty device blocks area. So I'm just going to put it at the beginning. That you can put transpose anywhere you want to. It's kind of up to you in terms of the way that you want this to be kind of coming through in your mix. For me, I tend to prefer, if I'm going to be making a change to my overall pitch of my guitar, I want to have that as close to the front of the DI signal as I can. So that way, everything that you have throughout the whole signal chain is convincing that you're in that pitch, right? Otherwise, you might get some weird warbling and some different things that could happen if you, say, send it through some reverbs or delay or anything of this sort. So let's go ahead, click on this device block. We're going to go over to the left on the device and be the same thing, right? We're going to go to pitch, transpose, hit enter to confirm that we're going to keep it. And there you go. You have transpose enabled and sitting on your grid right now. Now, if I go ahead and just play normally, okay, you're not going to hear any difference whatsoever. My guitar is tuned to D standard at the moment. So we'll take that riff and we'll play it again. Only this time, I'm going to leave the transpose block enabled and I'm going to drop down 2 semitones, okay? And now go ahead and listen to what this is going to sound like. Okay, did you hear that? Did you hear that it was lower? Here, let me go ahead and... Pretty cool, huh? Like I said, it's pretty much the same thing as what you could expect any pitch shifter to do, but Transpose's sole purpose is just to literally change your pitch and not give you any other finite controls. I do also believe, from what I've seen, that there is lesser of a penalty on your CPU cost using the Transpose versus the pitch shifter that has a little bit more of those finite controls, especially with the mixing and being able to change some of the course correction on the pitch itself. So this is just simply an out-of-the-box utility to allow you to transpose. It's a direct lift from the Neural DSP plugins, and it works really well. And there's your introduction to the Transpose feature, one of the best features coming from the Neural DSP plugin world to the Quad Cortex. I couldn't be happier about it. I've used it many times. It certainly helps. I play many different tunings across a wide spectrum of drop tunings, standard tunings, open tunings, you name it. Being able to use the Transpose feature has really saved my butt a couple of times from having to go through and deal with tuning instability or something on a specific guitar that I really wanted to play on a track because it just sounded right, but I had to down tune it to a point where stability was right out the window. Using Transpose, I was able to leave it in standard E and be able to get it down to monstrous levels like drop A and having it sound just as you would expect it to sound like on a guitar that was fully set up and ready to be able to do that. I love that feature. It works really well. I can't find any difference between the plugin and the QC, which is a great thing. So I'm super happy that we have this now. If you got any comments or questions about this feature, please leave them below. I'll do my best to help you, and I'll see you in the next one.